What must one do to be saved?
Love is self-sacrifice, the giving of yourself in such a way as to benefit the object of your love. Love exists, and makes choices, and has power, for God is love. Love made us to love us, exhibit itself, and for us to love it. Love cannot be without the choice to choose otherwise, and that choice can only be real if there are some who actually chose otherwise. In order to be fully the same thing as love, Christ entered the world in a process we call the Incarnation, and fully gave himself to us to die a humiliating death at the hands of, and on behalf of those who had chosen otherwise. Christ sent his love forward to join with those who chose to be an expression of love in the world. We have the choice to be an expression of the love that sent Christ, of the love Christ sends, and to express our love through study, through emulation, and through obedience. God's righteousness and God's mercy both flow from God's self, which is God's love and truth. As such, we should seek to enact justice and mercy in our own life as an expression of love and truth. What do you choose? What was the Incarnation? The Incarnation was God giving himself so freely and so completely that he became one of us. Not only did he become one of us, he became an average one of us. Not a king with an army, not an heir with a fortune, not a supermodel with a harem. Just one of us. He gave himself, holding nothing back. We know that he gave himself completely because of how we treated him. We beat him, flogged him, humiliated him, slandered him, abandoned him, broke him, and killed him. He allowed all of it because he had given himself to us as a gift. And then, when we were done treating the gift as harshly as possible, he returned himself to us.
Must we obey the commands of the Bible to be saved?
The law was written for men, not men for the law. Christ died to show us that we are beloved children, not indebted slaves. The law was there to teach us how to love, and what happens when love fails, and sometimes laws were necessary to constrain our hard hearts, when our own selfishness or short-sightedness would have destroyed our brothers and sisters. All the law is fulfilled in one command, to love your neighbor as yourself. This requires also that we promote love in our fellow men, and rules and consequences may be needed when those in our community are hard-hearted or lack the insight to see how their actions could be destructive rather than loving. Only a fool would disregard the divine teachings of those who followed God in an attempt to improve the loving relationships around us, but only the spiritually immature will restrict themselves to the words on the page even when they have proven to be harmful. This requires maturity, grace, and open communication from our leadership and laity, but this is the way of grace over law.